The Blues this morning arrived at GM Place, apparently with the intention of practicing here, but then just before noon, Andy Murray loaded them on a bus for UBC, where they worked out. We're told the only reason for that change was a change of scenery. At UBC, Andy Murray ran practice with the same line combinations and defense pairings he used down the stretch, and Alain Vigneault did the same for the Vancouver Canucks. So then there is no guessing as to who will play tomorrow night or who will not play, and least of all in goal. It's Chris Mason for St. Louis. He was fabulous down the stretch. Roberto Luongo for the Canucks. Luongo is acknowledged as one of the best in the game, but now he would like that reputation to extend into springtime.
Roberto, this is the time of year when goaltenders can cement their reputations. You know, as they say, if you're going to be great, you have to do it in the playoffs. Do you feel some pressure heading into these postseason games?
Honestly, the only pressure is the pressure I put on myself, but it's more excitement than anything else. It's going to be my second chance, and I had a great experience the first time around, and you know, I think we have a great opportunity here, so I'm really excited about getting starting.
About 6 weeks ago, you expressed that you still had a bitter taste in your mouth over missing the playoffs a year ago. How much motivation did you draw from that?
Well, going into last year, I remember just watching the playoffs back home. It was just a bitter feeling, and it took a while to get over. And I said to myself, "There's no way I can let this happen again." You know, once you've tasted it, and the next year not going back, it was a tough pill to swallow.
When you're struggling, and every goaltender does, what's the fix? Who do you talk to?
I don't know. You could talk to anybody you want, obviously, but I think it comes from within. And you know, there's two ways that I always go about my business when I'm struggling. It's one, I come to the rink and I try to not care about anything but just go out there and have fun. And the second one is work as hard as I can in practice. And you know, I really believe that when things are not going well, and even when things are going well, practice is always there to help you out.
You know what they say about the Stanley Cup playoffs, you can only go as far as your goaltending will take you. So you're in for a lot of the credit or perhaps a lot of the blame. Do you like being that sort of focal point?
Yeah, I do when things are going well, you know, but it's something that you've become accustomed to, you know, especially playing the Canadian market. So when we're winning, you know, things are great, and when we're losing, it's always a bit tougher. But you know, that comes with a position, and I've embraced that, and I know you know what comes along with it. So that's why it's so exciting to be a goalie. I mean, when you win, you're almost the hero every time.
You know, you've had a fairly long career, but yet this is just your second Stanley Cup appearance. 2 years ago with the Canucks was your first, and you played 12 games. What experience do you take from that one postseason appearance into this one?
Well, there's two things really I take. The first one is, you know, you kind of know what to expect going in as far as emotions and all that stuff, the intensity, and what it's like as far as routines are concerned. But the second thing is, I think, you know, throughout a series, it's amazing how you go through some highs and some lows just in a small series like that. And I think the important thing is you don't have to get too high after a win and not too low after a loss. I mean, it's whoever gets to 4 games first, and that's what you got to keep in mind.
So we assume then that you're more prepared for this playoff than you were 2 years ago?
Definitely. I mean, I've been through a lot in my first playoffs. I mean, Game 7, a bunch of overtimes, and you know, all that sort of stuff. So bathroom break, you know. So I'm definitely more prepared this year.
Mike Gillis made him captain. We all silly. Can't wear the C, can't talk to the referees, but there is one job the captain gets that maybe Mike Gillis had in mind, and of course that's to receive the Stanley Cup. Josh, what's your question back there?
Oh, hey, my question is, how important do you think Matt Sundin's contribution is to this series?
Can I take it?
Yes.
I think he is the most important Vancouver Canuck in this series.
Really?
Yep, I do, because I think the first line is set.
It's warm in here.
I really, because he adds a second line. He adds depth and size that no one else can really bring to the table on the Vancouver Canucks. And he hasn't been playing great hockey, and he just adds a whole different element, and he has been playing great. And if he does, I think it brings Vancouver over the top. I really do think he adds a ton to that team. Of course, there's the goaltending story. That guy, the Italian kid's not that bad.
Before you guys jump in, as a Poolie, you'd want to know, is he going to go with Kessler, or sorry, you got Burrows on the Sedins line on the power play, or Sundin with the Sedins on the power play? Anybody got a thought on what you would do, Kelly?
Well, knowing Vigneault, he'll change it up. He'll find out who's going right off the hop, and I'm going to say, though, he's going to stick with Burrows right now.
But there is another team in this series. St. Louis Blues have been incredible the second half of the season. Ever since the game in Boston, they're down 3-1. They came back with some wacky goals and won in overtime on a TJ Oshie shootout goal. It was a tremendous goal, and they just took off from there. The special teams have been incredible. They're so young, though. They're just so young. From the goaltender right on out, they're just, I don't think they can carry it through. As good as Mason has been in goal, I just don't think they're going to be able to match up against a team that now has some experience and depth at every position.
Everyone talks about St. Louis, how hot they've been down the tail end, but the last 20 games, they have the exact same record as the Vancouver Canucks. Everyone's just omitting it because it's such a feel-good story.
I mentioned that Kyle Wellwood, Tom Benjamin's not a real fan of Kyle Wellwood, and yet every time I looked at them in the last 2 weeks, they had the team hemmed in, and it's really...
He and Bernier worked really well. They're changing everybody's opinion about them.
Tom's thing is it's not puck possession that's important, it's puck position, and he said there's no team in the NHL keeps it in the attacking zone
possession
better than...
as well.
Yeah.
Certainly the Sedin line. I mean, they make you dizzy down low just hanging onto the puck.
And Kevin Bieksa is going to be a big factor, too. We know how he comes to every game with a hate on right at the start, and he's going to identify 2 or 3 of the Blues and some of those top players like Oshie and Backus and others, and they're going to have to fight through his aggressive play.
I think Vancouver will establish this game at home. I think they win both games at home, take the series, and maybe St. Louis can come back.
I like St. Louis, but Vancouver's just too good.
And I think the D in Vancouver, they're big and they're boxy and they're not as mobile as a lot of people think they are, but there's not enough on St. Louis, I think, to take advantage of them.
They'll get their chances, though.
And then that kid that we just talked about, the guy there, a Luongo character.
Oh, yeah, Roberto.
Yeah, you got to get past them, and then...
Chris played his hockey in Prince George, so he's going back into BC, and it always seems the players going back there. You know how you like to go and do the shows out there. All right, predictions.
Well, I'm going to go with Vancouver. No more than 6.
Yeah, I can take them in 5.
6 Vancouver.
All right, a sweep for the Vancouver Canucks.